Hello, Prayer Word for Life here, continuing our regular reading. We're still in Genesis for our Bible reading podcast, and we left off at Genesis 17 yesterday, and we are now in Genesis 18. And I will just begin reading. Abraham's heavenly visitors. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye for your hearts, and after that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said. And Abraham hastened into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it upon them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. Sarah promised a son. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of women. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord, being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of surety bear a child, which am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh. Sodom and Gomorrah's fate. And the men rose from thence, and looked toward Sodom, and Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abram that thing which I do? Seeing that Abram shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abram that which he hath spoken of him. And the Lord said, Because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is to come unto me, and if not, I will know. And the men turned their faces from thence, and went toward Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord. Abraham intercedes for Sodom. And Abraham drew near and said, Wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein? That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked. That be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all of the earth do right? And the Lord said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all of the place for their sakes. And Abraham answered and said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure, there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again, and said, Peradventure, there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, Oh, let not the Lord be angry. I will speak. Peradventure, there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure, there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once. Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abram. And Abram returned unto his place. And that concludes Genesis 18. So you see, Abraham was trying to intervene on behalf of the righteous. The Lord wanted to destroy the wicked, and Abraham's pleading with him, but Lord, well, what if we find 50? Well, what if we find 40? Or what if we find 45? He was just trying to intercede to make sure that no one was destroyed just because the wicked were being wicked, and the Lord was going to place judgment. What's interesting about this is we are in a period now where, many of the apostles are saying that judgment is coming on America and are asking believers to intercede with prayer, asking the Lord for mercy because of just America's history and its more recent behavior as it relates to war and America's involvement. So it's just fascinating reading the Bible, how many of the stories relate to experiences that we're seeing today in our current life. So clearly we still have a lot to learn. Well, anyway, I hope you're enjoying this Bible reading series. I didn't mean to go into like a Bible study review just there. But sometimes it's hard to avoid it when you're reading. So I hope you're enjoying this process. I hope you're learning. I hope it's blessing you. And like I always say, God bless. Hope you're having a wonderful life. Hope you're having a wonderful day. And I look forward to reading to you tomorrow. Goodbye.